Hey guys, it's Aiko with Shua Girl. Hey, welcome to my show. And today I have a guest here, Helen Iwata. So she is here as a guest, and I'm gonna. The reason why I invited her over to my show is that I wanted to ask her 3 tips to deal with mind blocks. So Helen, thank you very much for coming to my show.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's wonderful to speak to you always, Aiko.
Yeah, thank you. So some of my audience may know who you are already, Helen, but would you please tell us a little bit about what you do?
I will. So I'm Helen Iwata. I'm originally from the UK. I've lived in Japan for almost 30 years now. I'm getting close to that 30-year anniversary. We'll have to have a really big celebration. During my 30 years here, I worked with McKinsey for 10 years as the manager of client communications. And I was coaching McKinsey consultants and clients in communication skills. And then in 2013, I left McKinsey. The next day I set up my own business. And now I support multiple multinationals with communication skills training. And I also have the online side of my business where I'm primarily supporting women with their success to go from stress to success. And I'm so passionate about that.
Thank you very much for your wonderful introduction. Yeah, so I'm in your group right now, the short training group, right? And I learned so much about, especially mind blocks. Like as you said, to come out of your shell, you want to be out of your comfort zone, but to do that, you need to make some, little steps, stuff like that. So, but I noticed that I have a lot of mind blocks, and I realized members in your group were talking about the same mind blocks. So I'm wondering if you could share tips to deal with mind blocks, especially now, we need to deal with mind blocks. So would you please share your tips?
Absolutely, I would love to. So when we think about mind blocks, it's a belief, and it's a belief that's not helping us anymore, right? It may have been something that we developed as a belief in the past, and it might have helped us sometimes even in just one situation, but it's not something that's helpful now. And because these are so kind of deep within us, they can be quite difficult to change. So I'm going to give you 3 tips for how to change your mind blocks. And this can be, you can apply it as you're watching, as you're listening. Think about what's some kind of mind block or something that, if you've noticed something that's holding you back, and how you can apply it to your particular situation. So the first tip is belief shifting questions. Okay, belief shifting questions. So you want to have some questions about your beliefs. And one of the questions that often comes up in coaching, and if you've had any experience of coaching, if you've trained as a coach yourself, you've probably heard this, is how do I know that to be true? How do I know that to be true? So just by asking yourself that question, for example, if it's something like, my English is not good enough, right? Well, how do you know that to be true? And then when you think about it, well, how do I really know that to be true? And I can even think of just very recently, I was coaching one of my online students, and she had this belief, her English is not good enough. And I said, well, how many people have told you that? And she's like, oh, no one. So is it true then? Right? So very often we make things up in our minds. So that's the first question. The first tip is to have these belief shifting questions. Now, you can sometimes learn about these, you can read about these, and often it really, really helps to be working, for example, with a coach or with someone who is going to introduce those questions to you, because you're going to make changes a lot faster with that kind of support. Second one is repetition. Repetition is so important because these beliefs are so deeply embedded. They're originally there to protect us. And so the brain doesn't want to let go. And even though you might hear it once and you might think, like, you know, when you ask yourself that question, how do I know that to be true? And you realize, oh, no one's been questioning your English capability. So you might feel good about it that day, but then very easily forget about it over a few days and then go back to your concern, right? So going back to that mind block. That's why repetition is so important. So things like, you know, just writing down, like journaling and going back and reading what you wrote can be very helpful in terms of repetition. And then the third one that I really recommend is community. So being surrounded by like-minded women or men, right? Or like-minded individuals, basically. So there are so many opportunities these days for online groups to get support in those kind of places. And a couple of reasons that these are really powerful is one, that if you're like many people, and I would say especially women, you are often more likely to do something if you have made a commitment to other people or to other women. If you think about it, when you say to yourself, I'm going to do this, and then you maybe don't get round to it, you put other things first. But if you've said to someone else that you're going to do it, then you feel more of a sense of responsibility. That's kind of a normal human thing. So take advantage of that and, you know, be in groups of supportive people. So those are my, oh, and the other reason that that's powerful is that when you're in these online groups, and I've seen this so many times, I've experienced it myself when I first started being in online groups, and I've seen it in my programs as well, is that you start to recognize that it's not just you. You know, and as you said, Aiko, you noticed that other women in that pop-up training, that they had the same mind blocks, right? And so you get this sense of reassurance that, oh, it's not just me. And then you start to see other people making progress, and then you can start to make progress as well. And it's like you're getting the constant reminders, which goes back to the repetition that I mentioned earlier.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, like you said, like through your the short, even though it was like a really short training, I learned so much, and then also I realized so many different things about myself and my habits, and oh, other people are having the same issues, so I'm not alone, you know, type of stuff. Yeah, it was really valuable. So yes, and then thank you very much for the tips today. Yes, I think, what was it? Belief, what was it?
Belief, repetition, and community.
Belief, repetition, and community. I totally, yes, all the tips were needed for myself. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are getting so much out of this information. So thank you very much for that. And so now that I was in your community, right? And like you said, I'm typically lazy person. So when I decide to do something on my own,
how do you know that to be true?
Oh my gosh, yes. So I have to ask myself, how do I know that to be true?
Yeah, like what evidence do you have? What evidence do you have? And what does it mean? What does lazy mean?
Yeah, you're right. Like lazy for me is that I decided to do something, but I don't do it. And it happens so many times. But I guess no one told me that I'm lazy. So you're right. I need to ask that question to myself first. Yeah, right. See, there you go. So it's so helpful if I am by myself working on my own issues, no one's gonna help me to go to the next level. So having someone like you, Helen, because you are the specialist in this field, so it helped me so much. So this training was so helpful. So I'm super excited for the people who are in the community. I'm pretty sure that they are getting so much out of it too. And then, yeah, so would you please tell us about your community? Because I'm pretty sure so many people are interested in your community.
Yeah, so we have the Sasuga VIP Women's Coaching Program, and that's a 3-month program. So we're just about to start one. So if you're watching this at around the time of recording, July 2020 is when we are starting a program. We're in the middle of registration right now, and this is a place where you'll be online with a group of supportive women. Everybody works on a personal 12-week goal. And then we also work through what I call the Sasuga success cycle. And the Sasuga success cycle is a way to look at your natural cycle as a woman and when are the best times in that cycle to be doing certain activities, so that you know that you're doing the best things at the best times. Plus, as part of the program, you also get coaching in those skills. For example, the planning phase, the communication, so around some presentation skills, around speaking up in meetings. We'll be going into influencing, all those things around communication, and then around how to complete your tasks, how to stay focused on your tasks, how to not be overwhelmed with way too many tasks. And then the really important one for so many women is the self-care part. And so we'll be making sure that you learn that there is a time, especially, so you should always have self-care in your life, and there are times during that cycle when you want to have more self-care, and by having that self-care, then you're able to recharge and refresh and be at your best for the other times, so you can really be at your best at the best times.
Thank you. I was super excited about knowing Sasuga's success cycle, because like when you mentioned it, oh my gosh, yeah, because my mood goes up and down based on the cycle, right? So it's like, oh, now I know how to deal with it. So it's like I'm just realizing, oh, today is like starting some emotional week is happening this week, stuff like that. So yeah, so this was really helpful. And then I'm actually going through the 12-week. So I'll be in that group starting July
6th.
July 6th. Yeah, so I'm super excited because you actually mentioned so that you don't make too many massive tasks. You're gonna realize making your project is just too big, stuff like that. It's like you need someone that can tell you, hey, this project is so big, otherwise I'll be making a lot of big projects, and then like I'll be really frustrated. Hey, I'm not moving forward. Why? I'm not talented. I don't have the skills, stuff like that. It's not that. It's just I made a massive project on my own and I didn't realize it. So something like that. So having a person like you is definitely helpful. So I'm pretty sure this 12 weeks is going to be great.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for those who are watching, think about how many times you've maybe written a to-do list and you've expected to do all of these things in one day. And then by the end of the day, you really haven't got through anywhere near, maybe not even half of it. And then you get disappointed in yourself. Well, we look at we not just only look at it, but we actually learn and master how to completely get rid of that. And I was the same. Like, I am able to do this because I've gone through this experience myself, because I was a sort of person who had like massive, great expectations of what I could do in a day. And then I was like, oh, didn't get it done, and I would also very quickly forget what I had achieved. I call it achievement amnesia. And so I was never satisfied with what I got done. And then, as I said, being part of online groups myself in the past, I learned that actually this is very, very normal. And so then, I've now been able to create my own groups, and it's a delight for me to be able to bring what I've learned to more and more women, so that we can start to change lives, like change individual lives. And then for each individual, think how you impact the other people in your lives. It's huge. So I'm hugely passionate about it.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, so the registration is starting today or tomorrow, right?
Yeah, so we are recording because we've got a time difference as well, right? So I'm in Japan and we're recording this on June 30th. That's right. Yeah. What time am I on? Yeah, we're recording this on June 30th. So registration is open today and it's open until July 3rd Japan time. July 3rd Japan time. So if you're in the US, for example, it may be July 2nd for you. So if this is something that you know you're ready for some change in your life, this would be I mean, I have to say, I'm just going to be honest, it would be a great opportunity for you. I know this because I've seen the success of the previous rounds. We'll be going into the 5th round of the Sasuga VIP Women's Coaching Program. I've had women who've gone through every single round. Some women will do one round and they're fine. And some women will do multiple rounds. And some have even gone to, as I say, 4 rounds, and each time they're learning at a deeper and deeper level and growing at a deeper and deeper level. So if this is something that you are ready for, definitely get in touch with me or go and have a look at, I will be sharing the link, I'm sure. Go and have a look at that and let me know if you have any questions. I'm also, it depends on when you're watching this, but I have complimentary clarity calls. For those of you, if you're thinking, yeah, I'm really interested, I just have a little concern about this. Well, I don't want those little concerns to stop you, because it really is a great opportunity for you.
Yeah. So the door is open for only 4 days.
Yeah, only 4 days.
Mm-hmm. And then limiting only limited number of members can join, right? Is that right?
It's 25, and as of now, I think we have 6. Or the last I looked a couple of hours ago, and 6 had already gone. So,
yeah. And then my spot is reserved.
Yes. I was like, is my spot reserved? Yes, I got you are in.
All right, so other 19 lucky women can join the group. I'm pretty sure this is my first time joining your coaching group, so I'm super excited, and I'm looking forward to meeting the members actually in the community, because you seem like you have very nice clients who have like-minded. So I'm super happy with that environment as well as your coaching program. So I want to make a lot of good friends in that group, and that's the good thing about the community too, right?
Yeah, those connections. I don't know how it happens, but everyone who's joined so far has been absolutely lovely. It's just wonderful, and the way everybody supports each other and encourages each other. It's a very open and welcoming and safe environment.
Wow, thank you. So I'm gonna put the link here down below in the description box. So please check the coaching program. Again, the door is open only for 4 days. I'm gonna release this video right away after this recording, so it should be out today.
Wait, so you said that you were lazy? That doesn't sound like lazy behavior to me.
Okay, so now I mentioned I have to do it. So like you said, having accountability partner. So just tell me later if I'm not publishing it. You can just say,
I'm sure you're going to do it. I'm sure you're going to. And also just remember that label of lazy, you can just get rid of that, because you're just showing now by doing this that you're not lazy.
Thank you. See, I'm getting some valuable coaching right now. So this is wonderful. Oh my gosh, I'm so super excited. So if you are watching this video, please contact Helen as soon as possible. If you have any questions, Helen is wonderful. She answers, any of your questions, and hopefully I can meet my future members watching this video. So yeah, thank you. So thank you very much, Helen. Thank you very much for your time and then very valuable tips.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And see you soon.
Yes, see you then. Bye.
All right. Bye.